questions que mes générations se posent sont les suivantes, si je peux me résumer. C'est de ne pas comprendre comment l'Afrique, avec tant de richesses sur notre sol, avec une nature généreuse, de l'eau, du soleil en abondance, l'Afrique est aujourd'hui le continent le plus pauvre. L'Afrique est un continent affamé. Et comment se fait-il que les chefs d'État traversent donc le monde à mendier? Voici des questions que nous nous posons et que nous n'avons pas de réponse jusque-là. Nous avons l'occasion de tisser de nouvelles relations. Et j'espère que ces relations puissent être les meilleures pour donner un meilleur avenir à nos peuples.
What's up, beautiful people? Welcome back to my channel. If you're coming across this channel for the first time, kindly do consider subscribing for African stories, authentic African stories. And if you're a Pan-Africanist, you're home. Let's go straight to today's video. You all know how much I love Burkina Faso's president. Burkina Faso's president is the youngest president in Africa. He's only 35 years of age. And what comes from his mouth are always wisdom, and nothing short. During the Africa-Russia summit in St. Petersburg in Russia, Captain Traore said a very, very important message to African leaders. And he said that Africa is still poor despite all of its richness in natural resources. And he asked African leaders to come together so that their unity can come up with something that can help Africa. And Traore said nothing short of the truth, because Africa is so rich. Look at the oil in Nigeria. Look at the oil in Nigeria. Come to Congo. There is a lot of natural resources coming from Congo, but we are still failing as Africans. Africa is still considered poor, and we have all these resources. What is wrong with Africa? What's wrong with our leaders, you know? And Traore insisted and said that Africa should be considered rich because of its resources. But it's funny that most of these resources are taken overseas, and those countries that do not produce these resources, their stores are full of our resources here in Africa, and we tend to struggle as Africans, and we wonder what's wrong with us. Some of the countries in the West sponsor wars in Africa to distract us from the real issues, you know. Look at Congo. Congo is rarely peaceful. There are always issues in Congo where there is lots of natural resources. Recently, Malema warned African leaders and said that we are still being exploited. Our resources are taken to the West, and we are struggling with some things. Imagine there is no a company that processes the oil that comes from Nigeria. You know, the oil is transferred outside of Nigeria for them to be processed. It's crazy. Look at this video right here that I'm putting, then let's get back to the video.
That's why the oil pipes of Nigeria are passing through villages where poverty is worst. British Petroleum. And Nigeria has to import back its own fuel as a processed product at a price 3 to 4, 5 times more than they send it out of the country. So tell me, Nigeria, after 60 years of mining oil, why up to date you don't have a processing and a refinery to purify your oil and sell petrol to the world? No, those mines don't belong to us. The government signed a document with the British government, and it's in the constitution. It's in the law that Britain will mine this place for the next 99 years. I don't know how long is the lease. So you have the same law that you vote leaders into, and when they get into this law, the Western world always makes sure the person going onto that chair understands the law which protects us.
Now that right there is so disappointing about Nigeria and about Africa. You see, Traore said it good well, that we are rich with resources, and yet we go outside of Africa to borrow aids, to borrow support from the West. And these are the reasons as to why we are going down as Africans, you know. I really do not like conveying negative messages about Africa. I really do not like being negative about the motherland. But because of such leaders who are puppets of the West, Africa is losing it slowly. We need like 5 Traores in Africa. We need 10 of them to change Africa. We need 3 other Malemas. We need PLO Lumumbas in Africa for the real change to come, you know. Look at how, I do not know how even to put it. You have oil in your country. You've had oil for the longest time. You do not have a processing company, or rather a company that can purify your oil. So what you do is sign a treaty with the Brits, and your oil is transported outside of your country, and it's brought back purified, and you pay for it like 3 times more than the price that it went out of your country with. It's insane. Isn't that modern day slavery? Isn't that not neo-colonialism? And we Africa boast and we are happy. We boast and we are happy that we are free from the colonial chains. This is modern day slavery. This is so sad that such things are happening in the motherland. Such things are happening in Africa, you know. It is so sad that a country has its resources and they have to transport its natural resource outside the country, and they are brought back as a finished product with a fee. That is insane, man. That is so insane. That's why what Captain Traore was saying in this video is something that we need as Africans. We need to know how to use our resources. Imagine it is passed into law that their resources must go to the West and back to them, and they have to pay for it. That's crazy. For the lack of a better word, that's nonsense, you know. That's something that should not be done right now in this modern day and time. I really hope that there will be change. I really hope that there can be a lot of leaders having the same vision in Africa. You know, we will change Africa. Such channels will change Africa. We'll continue spreading the news of hope for Africans. We'll continue pushing our leaders to change their ways, you know. I've always wanted a unified Africa. But a unified Africa with leaders who are puppets can be difficult. It will be useless for us. We'd rather fix our countries individually. I'm in Kenya. The president of Kenya should fix Kenya. Nana Akufo-Addo should fix Ghana. Cyril Ramaphosa should fix South Africa, so that the unity of Africa can be an ease for all of us. We can live peacefully. We can depend on each other, you know. It can be easier for us. Many a times we have issues with oil. We have issues with petrol. At times the prices are high, you know. Maybe the dollar rate has gone high. There's just a lot of issues with the economy. And we have these same resources in Africa. You know, we have the same resources in Africa. And we hear that our ships are docking in Africa, bringing the same resources that we produce, you know. That's not issues that should be affecting us in 2024. We need a better Africa. We yearn for change in Africa. We need thousands of Captain Traore in Africa for the real change to come in Africa. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Kindly do consider subscribing to my YouTube channel for this and a lot more of African stories. And remember, the goal is to change Africa, the goal is to unite Africa, and the goal is a free Africa, a fully independent Africa. Thank you guys so much. See you in my next video. And you can always share your thoughts on the comment section so that we may all learn and we may get to change the motherland. Thank you guys. See you in my next video.